Hello, thanks for downloading the Outlook podcast. This is our favourite story from today's programme. Here's Matthew Bannister.
The London-born folk singer Sam Lee has become a guardian for the ancient songs of traveller communities in the British Isles. For 10 years he's been travelling the country, gathering songs and stories which are in danger of dying out, and recording new versions of them with his band The Friends. He adds a distinctive jazzy flavour and a host of global instruments, including Scandinavian Willow Flute, Japanese Koto and Indian Shruti box. The BBC's Nicky Paxman has been to meet Sam.
For it's all a young woman, my fortune is hard, and I've been over-courted by a rakish young lad, and I've kept my love's company night and by day.
Sam, the single off your new CD, The Fade in Time, is Blackbird. Beautiful song. It seems to be about a woman who's lamenting the fact that her lost lover has gone away to war. He's become a soldier.
Well, it's a song I learnt from an old gypsy singer from Shropshire, a Romany gypsy called May Bradley. She has this unique modal tune that you can really hear the echoes of the east, of India, of Azerbaijan in this kind of unique decorative way that she has reappraised this classic song.
For my love's an old soldier, and he's neat, tall and fair.
And your arrangement is very fresh, very new, very exciting.
Well, the way I've learnt it is that it's like all songs, unaccompanied, absolutely no instrumentation. And yeah, I wanted to bring a real sense of the drama, big percussion, big drums, and also kind of hammering pianos.
For some people's talking that I'm out of my mind.
Now, you're a city boy, you're born in London, and I know that you've been an art student, an anthropology student, a dance student, a professional dancer. And all along you've also been a wilderness survival expert. But where did you first hear folk songs? Where did you first get the bug for folk songs?
The initial immersion in it was as a child going camping and sitting around the campfire in an organisation, a community that had a very strong fireside singing tradition. But I didn't know what it was and where it came from. And when I went into the kind of serious end of it, I was in my mid-20s and I was doing a lot of research in the library and meeting lots of academics, researching folk music, and I suddenly found the sound archives in the libraries, in the British Library, and hearing those voices of the real people who'd sung those songs suddenly made me understand that there was an indigenous culture in Britain, all sorts of ancient things I sort of assumed only existed in other worlds, other countries.
So from the beginning, your passion for folk song went hand in hand with your passion for the land.
Yeah, very much. And the two are inextricable, really.
I'll take my dog
And there's a song on The Fade in Time, the second album,
and my
Air Dog,
Yeah.
which seems to be very much about quite an ambiguous relationship with nature, really. It's about killing hares and having to hunt them, but at the same time loving them.
Yeah. It's a dependency that we have, so there's a great reverence of the animal. Within the lyrics, there's this poetry about lay you down, my poor pussycat, for your uncle now he is coming.
Is the pussycat the
The
hare?
pussycat, yeah, it's the old gypsy name for the hare. Your uncle, this kind of power. I think the uncle is almost like God coming to come and take the spirit of the hare away to offer the body for food.
See how she loves, see how she cries when something stopped her running.
What does it mean to be a wilderness survival expert? But you know about plants and things.
Yeah, I love plants, I love trees, I love fungi as well.
I've read somewhere that your favourite plant is the stinging nettle.
Indeed.
Why is that?
They, for me, represent, like folk songs. Everybody hated folk songs. Nobody wanted to sing them. Everyone hates stinging nettles, wants to get rid of them. But actually, nettles are the most incredible plant. You know, we lived off them. They're highly nutritious in iron, and the formic acid in the stings is a very important healer. But also the fibre. We used to make most of our clothes. The German army in First World War was entirely made out of sting nettle fibre. So it used to be our rope, fishing nets, everything. It was such a versatile material.
And there's a metaphor for the music in that.
Exactly.
Tell me how it worked practically in the early years. You were dancing in rubber trousers on the West End stage.
Hot
and
pants,
then
please.
Hot pants.
There was no legs, I'm afraid. I remember every night getting into my costume, put the glitter on, the talcum powder, getting into my costume, and then I'd sit under my dressing room table with headphones and I'd be learning songs, these old farmers, these recordings from the 40s and 50s, just drinking in old songs. It was such two worlds completely clashing with each other. You know, it paid my way through uni. I used to do these sorts of shows and productions, and you know, it was my income, my moonlighting. And then the minute that show was over, that was it. I quit. I pulled out of dancing and burlesque. I was like, no, I want to go and find music. I want to go and find folk song.
Johnny rose one May morning, cold water to wash his hands. Go bring to me my two greyhounds. They are bound in iron bonds, bonds. They are bound in iron bonds.
You said you started out by driving up the motorway, finding a caravan site and knocking on the door of traveller communities. How do you do that? How do you get across, not just across the threshold, but then into the heart of the community where they'll share the precious culture with you?
The songs are the passport. I put myself through what I call the gypsy test, and I go in and go, I'm a singer. I'm interested in, I sing the old traveller songs. Do you know any? And they go, oh, you know about the songs? Go on, sing a song. Ah. And I will put myself in that position and I will sing. I'll sing a song. For it's goodbye, my darling, it won't be for long. And they hear that and they're so they're like, come in, sit down. What do you want to drink? And that's always it. You know, once I've sung a song, they know I'm not the taxman, the social services, the police.
Because the thing is that, traveller communities in Britain are strong communities with a strong sense of identity and, essentially outside of the system.
Oh, no, absolutely. And they approach generally with a huge amount of distrust and secrecy because they've been exploited and treated so terribly. In fact, one of the most wonderful singers is an Irish traveller. I heard him sing down the phone, and I travelled all the way across Ireland, got to the town, phoned up, and he was like, no, don't want you coming over. And I just went to the house, I knocked on the door, and they refused to let me in. And eventually what I did, I went to the kitchen window that was open and I wedged myself in the open window with a box of chocolates, a CD of recordings I made of other members of that family. And I just basically for 20 minutes pleaded with him to let me in, that you need to sing your songs. I need to hear you sing. I need to record you. Otherwise it'll disappear. And after 20 minutes, he let me in, and he's one of the greatest singers I have ever heard, let alone recorded. And you realise that for him, giving them away was singing the songs out was they are his family. They are all his parents and his uncles and brothers and that generation have all passed on now. So all he has is their songs.
To sing them out, does that mean out of the community?
Yeah, for them to be recorded and taken away and be made into commercial recordings, it's very dangerous. But, I've got to know him now, and he now understands what I do in terms of trying to keep them alive, and he's embraced the work I do, and because I'm not just in it for the kind of quick hit. I want those songs to survive and the memory of those people I've learnt them from to go with them for many, many years onwards.
Give me a hint. Were there any unusual tales within those songs?
Oh, yeah. Well, the great one he sang was The Scaffold, a song called the Streets of Derry, or the Derry Jail. It's a great old ballad about a man about to be hung on the gallows. It's him waiting for his pardon to come, and his father and sister are there, and they've all come to try and save him, and none of them can help. And it goes, I'll just give you a little blast of it. For it's I'm in love with the nicest young man the nicest young man my two eyes have seen. And it's out to gain him, sure I will not try then. He has his sentence, it is to be hung, and so on.
The British folk singer and song collector Sam Lee was talking to Nicky Paxman.
Thanks for listening to today's Outlook podcast. Don't forget, if you want even more of these extraordinary personal stories from around the world, you'll find them all on our website. Just go to bbcworldservice.com/Outlook.